Good morning and welcome to today's session of Imagine America Radio. Today's session is our continuing Career College Exposition webinar series. My name is Bob Martin and I'm with the Imagine America Foundation. Joining me on today's session of Imagine America Radio is my foundation colleague, Lee Doubleday. Lee and I are very excited about today's career topic, automotive technology, sponsored by Universal Technical Institutes. UTI is the country's leading provider of high-quality, career-focused education at 12 locations nationwide. UTI is also a 20-year sponsor of the Imagine America Scholarship and Award Program, having provided admissions-based financial aid to more than 15,000 enrolling Imagine America students. Without taking valuable time from our presenter, let me refer any and all inquiries about the Imagine America Foundation to our website, www.imagine-america.org, or urge you to contact either Lee or I via call or email.
Automotive technology careers are some of the most popular programs in career colleges. Since our beginning in 1999, Imagine America remains a leading sponsor of scholarship aid to enrolling high school students. However, our country faces a serious shortage in certified automotive technicians. We hear from employers in virtually all sections of the country desperately looking for qualified employees, so we need to do more. Our partner in today's presentation is Universal Technical Institute. UTI is one of the premier automotive education providers in the United States with campuses located throughout the United States. Joining us today to discuss in detail the looming automotive technician shortage and how UTI is helping meet this need is Dr. Stephen Coyle. Dr. Coyle is a nationally recognized expert in this area with an extensive K-12 background.
Before turning the program over to Dr. Coyle, let me go through today's agenda. Today's session of Imagine America Radio will be 30 minutes maximum, with questions and answers included. Once we finish these remarks, we're going to move directly to Dr. Coyle. All participants can submit questions while the presentation is in session via the chat feature in this Zoom meeting. At the end of the presentation, or approximately 10:25, I will present any questions offered by the participants. We will address as many questions as possible and provide written responses in follow-up emails. We will have a hard close at 10:30 so you can get back to the business at your schools. So without taking more time out of today's presentation, let me introduce to you our presenter, Dr. Stephen Coyle. Dr. Coyle.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. Due to time restraints, I'm going to jump right into the presentation. I want to go over the agenda with you just briefly. The first thing we're going to look at are challenges facing the workforce. Then we're going to follow that up with opportunities in the automotive industry, and then finally, Universal Technical Institute's career pathways. The first thing I'd like to look at is the changing workforce. As you can see on the graph on your screen, is that the workforce has changed tremendously from the 20th century to the 21st century. In the 20th century, we were very much an agricultural manufacturing economy. That's not true in this century. We are now in the service-oriented part of our economy. If you own a home, if you own a car, even if you own a washing machine, you know that how difficult it is to find someone to work on things, let alone someone who's highly qualified to work on those things. It's very difficult. Also wanted to point out another thing on the graph is where you say we're 41% agricultural in the 20th century and we dropped to 2%. That's a little misleading because that 2% actually feeds more people than that 41% did. And all of it is driven by technology. And we're going to see how much technology plays a role in the workforce today as well later in the presentation. We had a survey of 150,000 Boy Scouts, and we asked those scouts, how many of you would like a skilled trade career? Whopping 3% said, oh yeah, sign me up. This is definitely what I want to do. That same group of people then was asked, how many of you would like a STEM career? And you can see over 45% said yes, I would love something like that. There lies the disconnect because students do not make the connection between STEM and skilled trades. When they think of STEM, they think of the white collar. They think of that part of our economy, and that's could be further from the truth. Unfortunately, we have many educators in that same role where they're thinking the same way as these students are, that, well, skilled trades, that really is not STEM. And we know today that is not true at all. STEM versus non-STEM education. I had the fortune of listening to a speaker from the Naval Academy, an admiral from the Naval Academy, and he spoke about their program, and he spoke directly about their exclusive STEM program. He went on and on about how exclusive this was. Only the top 15% were even allowed into the program. So after he was finished, I walked up to him and of course, told him I very much enjoyed his presentation, but I just had a question for him. So why only the top 15%? And he looked at me kind of puzzled. Said, you know, STEM is really all around us. I don't understand how you could limit the top 15%. As you can see once again on the screen, you know, 70% STEM versus non-STEM, and really that number is changing daily. We're getting more and more into STEM education into the career pathways that we have today. You know, it's very hard to find an occupation that doesn't use STEM in some way. You know, the opportunity that we have right now is that, you know, in this country today, the college graduates that we have walking around, almost half of them are in occupations where they didn't even need a bachelor's degree. They're not even using the degree that they paid for. Not saying that they don't have good jobs. I'm just saying that they had some unnecessary debt that they didn't need to take on because they're not even using their education. And on the left side there, you see that only about 20% of the jobs in the country right now even require a bachelor's degree for an entry-level position. They just don't need that type of education. And so that's why we're looking at this and we're saying, well, you know, the problem that we have here is that, you know, we just have a lot of wasted education out there, a lot of wasted time, and a lot of wasted money. I talk a lot in my presentations as I travel around the country. I talk about the old smart versus the new smart. What is the old smart? Well, the old smart is you get into the best school you possibly can. That's your number one goal. And then after you get there, figure out what it is you want to do. What degree are you going to pursue? What programs do you want? And then if you do graduate, then you walk out the door with your degree in hand, go, here I am, world, hire me. We know today that doesn't work. And when we look at the old smart, we say, how ridiculous is that? You know, trying to get into the best college we can, why? But we have evidence of that with the college admissions scandal going on, tied in with USC and some other schools, you know, where these parents paid a lot of money for their students to get into school. And what's ironic is that many of those students didn't even want to go to college in the first place. But yet the parents, they felt like this was so important for them to get into this prestigious school, but yet they didn't even really want it in the first place. The new smart is a complete 180 from the old smart. The new smart is, let's find out what these students want to do first. You know, the one question we ask every little kid in the country today is, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always challenge counselors when I meet with them in state conferences and webinars and in conferences and seminars and all these type of things. I ask them, when was the last time that you had a junior or senior walk into your office and you say, what do you want to be when you grow up? We stop asking the question. The other thing that we do is that a lot of times with the little kids, we ask them, what do they want to be when they grow up? They answer, well, I want to be a fireman. I want to be a policeman. I want to be a teacher. Well, then why do we have a shortage of all those occupations today? It's because we coach them out of it. We talk them out of it. Oh, that's wonderful. That's cute. But you can't make any money doing that. So, let's try to find a different field. Let's try to find something else. And so that's what we deal with. So the first thing we want to do, let's find out what their passion is. What is it they really want to do? Then the second part of this is let's find out what program do they need. Do they need a bachelor's degree? Do they need an associate's degree? Or do they just need a competency-based credential? It will vary from student to student. We can't put them into one mold. We have to go by what they want to do. And then when we figure out what program that they're going to need, then we're going to find the school that they need. They may not need the state college or university. They may not need the local community college. They may need a technical or trade school. They may need cosmetology school, a welding school. So we have to tailor this to what their wants and needs are. The rule of 127, I talk about this often. Many of you have probably never heard of the rule of 127, but it's very simple. If you add 1, 2, and 7 together, it totals 10. For every 10 occupations that are out there, only one requires an advanced degree. That would mean a master's degree or higher. Only 1 out of 10. 2 out of 10 only require a bachelor's degree. 7 out of 10 of the career opportunities available today, right now, only require an associate's degree or a competency-based credential, meaning like a diploma or a certificate of some type. When you walk into a dealership or a shop to get your car worked on, you see the little picture frames on the side of the wall. You don't expect it to say master's degree. You don't expect it to say doctorate. You're looking for certifications. Can this person fix my brakes? Can this person fix my transmission? That's what you're looking for. So what's ironic about the rule of 127 is that while 7 out of 10 of the careers don't require a bachelor's degree, we're shoving students into college at a 70% rate. So we're doing just exactly the opposite of what the economy is dictating to us. Skilled trades is STEM. We have to get away from the myth of the university for all attitude. It just isn't working any longer. And once again, I'm not putting down the colleges or universities. We still need them, because if you're going into an occupation or career pathway where you need the bachelor's degree, obviously you need to be there. But we cannot keep going on with this. Everybody has to go to college. This goes clear back into the 1970s, 1971, Griggs versus Duke Power, where the aptitude tests were deemed unconstitutional. They weren't fair to everybody. So they said, well, what are we going to use? We have to have some way to measure a college degree. If you have a college degree, you're automatically smart. You're automatically qualified. Well, we know that just isn't working. Employers are looking for one thing. What do you bring to the table? What skills do you have? What competency-based credentials do you have? That's what they're looking for. The second part of our agenda is opportunities in the automotive industry. Vehicles today are rolling computers. You can see the truck there on the screen. These cars are getting high tech, and it's getting very, very difficult to find technicians that can work on these things. I just read an article the other day talking about farm equipment, combines and tractors, all these things that are coming out now. Farmers are afraid of them because they can't work on them, and there's not enough technicians to work on them, and they have to have them in the field working. So they're looking for older equipment that they can work on. So the technology is there. The best part about this technology is they're life-saving. The backup cameras that we have in cars now, I wonder how many lives that's saved. The blind spot indicators, the collision indicators, all these things that we have on these vehicles. And who wants these? We do. We like this technology. If you have a 2017 or newer car, it's wired for autonomous driving. Now, I didn't say let go of the steering wheel. Don't do that. But I'm telling you that the technology is there. This is not science fiction any longer, but we have to have technicians that can work on these things. The growing demand in the transportation industry, it just keeps growing. We have over 260 million vehicles on the road right now in the United States. we're expecting job openings by 2026 to be at the 1.2 million range. Unbelievable that's there. But what is alarming is that this skills gap is not closing, it's widening. We have got to do something now to stop this. And then finally, Universal Technical Institute's career pathways. Who is UTI? Well, we're very much an industry-aligned school and the industry-aligned technology. We work with over 35 manufacturers out there. We're not preparing students for Jiffy Lube. We're preparing students for the major manufacturers in the industry today. The way we teach our classes is kind of unique in that we only go one class at a time. A student will take that same class for 3 weeks solid, learning that competency-based credential before they're allowed to move on to the next competency-based credential. We're actually building a technician from the ground up. We feel like this is very important for the students to show what they can do. Very much what teachers do, where they want them to be able to display that they know what they're doing, that they've got command of that discipline or wherever the case may be. We very much do that as well. We also try to match what the dealerships are doing. Our calendar, for instance, we don't take spring breaks because the industry doesn't take spring breaks. We don't do summers off. The industry doesn't take summers off. We do an online segment of our teaching because that's what dealerships are doing when they train their technicians now. It's very expensive to take a technician out of the field, send them off to school, and bring them back. So now we do online training, which expedites that. And so we do that at UTI so that our students are ready for that when they move into the dealership. We help students find their passion. You can't just come to UTI. You have to be invited. You have to go through an interview process where the UTI representative sits down with the student and their parents. And we ask the student questions. What is their passion? What do they want to do? We offer 8 different disciplines: auto, diesel, collision, motorcycle, marine, NASCAR, CNC, and welding. So we're going to question that student to find out what it is that they're looking for. We want to make sure that we're the right fit for them, and we also want to make sure that they're the right fit for us. We have campuses all over the country. As you can see, the webinar today is mainly dealing closer to our Houston campus. We have 2 campuses in Texas, actually, in Houston and Dallas. But we have campuses all over the country, so we're very much going to be close to many of our students. As I mentioned earlier, we have over 35 industry relationships. These companies like BMW, Ford, GM, Toyota, Suzuki, all these various companies, these are the major industry partners that we work with. As I said earlier, we're not preparing students for a general type education. We do manufacturer specific training. So when that student comes out, they're qualified to work in this industry. Why are we excited about that? Because these partners, not only are they stable, but they provide a lot of incentives and they provide good salaries for our students. Why UTI? Well, we have 12 campuses all over the country. We graduate, we place in the field over 4 out of 5 of our graduates. So we're very proud of that. We have one of the highest placement percentages in the country. We have over 220,000 graduates out there right now in the field. You would be very hard pressed to walk into a dealership and say UTI and they would not know who you're talking about because we have technicians literally working everywhere. We rely upon our graduates a lot. We use our graduates at a lot of the meetings and seminars that we hold because we want them to tell the story. We can say it, but it doesn't mean as much as if a student that's gone through the program, if they say it, and they'll tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's what I love about their graduates. They won't hold back. But as you can see, like with these 3 that are on the screen right now, the one thing that they all have in common is they worked hard to get to where they are. We're not easy. We don't want to be easy. We want to be challenging these students. We want them going into the industry prepared for what they're going to get into. And that's what our employers tell us, that our graduates are ready to step into the industry. So we're very proud of that. Financial assistance. I know this comes up a lot with counselors. We are Title IV funded. So we provide financial aid to those who qualify. We offer over $15 million in scholarships each year. We offer housing grants, institutional grants, ways to help students to get started in school. It's a tough transition going from high school to college, so we try to help them with that transition as much as possible. We offer third-party programs that can help cover emergency expenses. If something comes up, they had a car breakdown, or heaven forbid if they were involved in an accident or something on their way to school, we help with that to make sure, it's called life, and so we try to step in and help them. The one I purposely skipped is the TRIP partnerships that we have with over 4,700 employers. TRIP stands for Tuition Reimbursement Incentive Program. We're very proud of this program. I don't know about you all, but we struggle getting students to fill out scholarships. And I think you have that same struggle too. So what we found is that the TRIP partnerships give students an incentive to work for, and that's what we love to do. For instance, we have the Penske Auto Group. They offer a $25,000 package to our graduates. And how that works is when they go to work for a Penske dealership, they are paid, and then they're given an extra $300 every pay period. They can take that $300 and put it towards their student loans. They can put it towards tools or uniforms, whatever they want to use it for. But we really want them to, take care of if they do have any student loan debt, they can take care of that and it not be a burden on them, so they don't have a lot of expense, or a lot of debt, I should say, hanging over their heads. And and different employers offer different type of packages. Some offer sign-on bonuses, of anywhere from $2,000 up to $10,000. So there's a lot of opportunities there for students to get their education paid for. But as we tell the students, you have to work for this. You have to show up to class every day. You have to work hard while you're in class. That's important. UTI is here to help. We know what you do out there. I come from the education background, so I very much know what you guys do on a daily basis. And so we know that you're teaching these things and you're talking to the students about these things. But we want to help. We want to partner with you. We have representatives that come into your schools, and we do workshops. These are all free. It takes a class period to cover. And we go over not just UTI, but we go over a lot of different things with them, the economics of today's world, the job market, all those kind of things that are out there. We also do professional development. I do a lot of professional development around the country with different schools, and I would do that for you as well. Once again, it's all free. We don't charge for any of this, but I've opened up many school years and kicked off activities and things for school districts, so we like to offer that to you as well. Follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube. We're all around. You'll see our advertisements on TV. Our website, of course, as well. So feel free to go in there, and if you want to contact us or get any information from us as well. And then finally, this is my contact information. This is my phone number. This is my email address, and this is my Instagram account as well. I have an Instagram account, so you can follow me as I go from different events all across the country. I like to take pictures and post them on what we're doing. But I would encourage you to reach out to me. I'm very sensitive about my phone and my email. I answer. So if you call, if I don't answer, I will call you back or email me. I would love to work with you any way possible. We're here to partner with you and offer you any assistance that we possibly can. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Dr. Coyle, you're right on the button. We told him 10:25 you'd finish your presentation, and 10:25 it is. We've got a couple of questions. It looks like the first one comes from a participant in the Houston area. We've gotten this before, Dr. Coyle, cost comparisons between your programs, meaning UTI programs, and community college programs.
Yeah, first of all, the elephant in the room, yes, we're going to be more expensive than the community college, no doubt about it. If you come to one of our campuses, you will see why, because of the state-of-the-art equipment that we have. Everything is very much up to date. One of the things, we just got an email update from Volvo. they're getting into the electric car industry, and so they're supplying our campus with 36 campuses with 36 S60 electric cars. So we have all this available out there to the students. So it costs to do that, but in reality, our program is 10 to 17 months, and they're out. You go to local community college, you're going to go 2+ years. You go to college or university, you're going to be 4+ years. So when our students are done with school and they're out working in the field, other students are still going to school. And then, so if you look at our program, the length of our program compared to them, we compare very favorably to costs with community colleges and universities.
I think you may have touched upon the second part of that first caller's question. Had to do with different lengths of programs. How long should they expect to be enrolled before they're out and graduated and working?
Well, our programs generally are, as I said, 10 to 17 months, depending upon what program they're going to be into, what training. The average is a year. Our auto program, our collision program, which are both offered in Houston, by the way, are 51 weeks, 1 week shy of a year. And our diesel program is 10 months, which is also offered in the Houston area too. Our programs are designed to get students in, get them through the program, and get them into the field as quickly as possible, but also as highly trained as we can possibly get them.
The other caller asked if we want to talk to a local UTI rep, should we go to the UTI website or should we contact you directly?
Either way works. If you want to get on our website, you can make an inquiry, and then they will channel that to the proper rep. But if it's easier, just reach out to me. I know who these reps are across the country. I work with them all the time, so I would be glad to make that connection, make that introduction for you. Like I said, we're anxious to come into schools and partner with you any way we possibly can. And then on a personal note, if you're interested in some professional development or something along those lines, please reach out to me personally, and if I can arrange something, I will. My calendar fills up quickly, so make sure you get to me quickly.
Thank you, Dr. Coyle. We appreciate it. As I said when we started this session of Imagine America Radio, IAF Foundation will compile and forward a set of follow-up questions related to this presentation to all the participants. We've also recorded this session and will forward the recorded version of it to all the registrants. Or you can go to our website or Imagine America Radio and you can download this particular session. This has been placed on our website, as I said before, and we have download instructions. Finally, we're going to be conducting a survey to determine whether there's additional topics and additional areas that we should focus on with both UTI and some of our other career college partners. Before closing, I'd like to thank our participants, the high school counselors and the teachers that took time out of their very busy schedules to join us today. I'd also like to thank Dr. Coyle for sharing his thoughts today in this presentation, and encourage you to contact him directly with any questions related to this presentation, UTI, or just general. On behalf of the Imagine America Foundation, Lee Doubleday, Dr. Stephen Coyle, and myself, we want to thank you and say goodbye. Thank you.